Don't understand the title? That's alright, I didn't think you would. It's basically the opposite of Bud Light. Okay, bad puns aside, I know I'm like 7 months late to this solar eclipse thing, but really, I didn't see much value in making an episode based off a giant shadow. The closest thing we got to being bloggable, and yes, I'm using that as a word, would be the teacher from like 1978 who made a promise to his class for the next 16 years that he would host a party to watch the solar eclipse in the year of 2024, and he kept his word all those years later. Holy crap, man! I can't even like promise you what the next blog is going to be about. This guy planned way ahead. Amazing. So I guess technically there is a little bit of material to work with, but I want there to be some sort of unique twist to the blog. Like, you guys already know about the teacher. You already know about that. You want something more delicious to consume. We will get to that in due time, but let me just say, I was at work when the solar eclipse happened. I believe it was around 2 in the afternoon, and it wasn't all that great if I'm being honest. I mean, it was fine. It was kind of neat, I guess. It got just dark enough to where the night light sensors went off, which I've never been to my work at nighttime. I guess it was kind of cool to have learned that, but we didn't get full coverage, so it didn't thrill me all that much. At the very least, I can say that it was better than the lunar eclipse I saw in 2015, where the moon looked like a slightly darker shade of gray. Something like 20 years in the future, there should be another one passing over my state, and a coworker who's a significant amount older than me, he was like, yeah, he's young enough. But I'm thinking, well, so are you. I mean, who's to say you won't live to be in your 60s? But that's besides the point. They said that it wouldn't be a good idea, probably, to take a picture of the eclipse with our phones, because it could screw them up a bit. But I went ahead and took one anyway, and nothing bad happened. I don't still have the same phone I did in April, but that's because I just assumed it was having lagging issues, so I went ahead and upgraded like 2 months later, even though technically it could have been just fine to keep the same one. But regardless, you can't even see the moon in this shot. It just looks like the sun. Isn't that like weird or something? There is a bit more I could discuss here, but what I'm really here to talk about is this little mystery that an uncle of mine had created. Back when we lived right next to him, we were circled around the bonfire just talking a few nights before April 8th. And he wanted to explain to his grandchildren what a solar eclipse was. He started off his little story explaining that he was a kid in school when he saw his first eclipse. I don't remember how old he said he was. He might not have said it at all, but if I do remember, I want to believe he was 7. But I don't really know, though, so don't take that too seriously. He was born in 1980, so just in case you can't do math, I'll put when this could have been on screen. Keyword being could, because again, I don't remember how old he said he was. But he decided to delve deeper and explain that once the moon had blocked out the sun completely, a UFO had appeared. The UFO came down and out came a few alien chickens who stated they came from the planet Chickadonia. But right at that moment, his grandchildren had interrupted him. Or maybe they got distracted doing something else, I don't really remember which. My aunt said to them, now I'm never gonna know how that story ended. Ain't that the truth, man? It just sucks. They had to go and ruin it, didn't they? I mean, let's be honest, it was just a test to see if their children could listen, which clearly they failed at, so it's a work in progress here. Obviously, there was no real UFO with chickens coming down and stating the fictional planet they come from. I mean, that's like gotta be the oldest one in the books. I would have been more excited if this were an alien ostrich, you know what I mean? It's a bit more creative. I mean, chickens. God. But regardless, yeah, I did want to know how he was going to end that tale. So I guess I'll never know. Until now. Well, okay, fine. I didn't actually go up to my uncle and ask him, hey, how are you planning on ending that fable? I want to know. I really don't care to know how that story really was going to end. Because had it ended, this episode would not be a thing, and I've been struggling for blog ideas, as usual. The shit I'm making up for this episode is probably not the real canonical finish to his story. But I mean, someone's gotta fill in the blanks here. He walked so that somebody else could run. Well, I guess I'm running right now, and I hope you guys will run with me. I'm gonna give out 3 alternate endings to how I think. Not saying it's legit. This is how I predict one of these 3 is how the story ended. All you have to do is comment down below the numbers 1, 2, or 3 for your favorite ending. None of them will be canon, but I just need to hear your guys' opinions, if you choose to cooperate at all, since I don't have like a whole bunch of viewers. I do have more than I used to for sure, but not a ton. So it's possible nobody will actually vote, but away we go! So the alien chickens come down from the UFO during the eclipse, right? They stay there from a planet known as Chickadonia. But then they get back into their UFO and leave. Funny right there, right? But that's not where the story ends. They didn't actually go to Chickadonia, wherever the hell dick that place is. Instead, they hide behind the moon, right? And then a few days later, when it's actually nighttime, they return, they leave a big box in that exact same spot at the school where they landed last time, and then they go back to their home planet, never to be seen again. Now, what exactly is in that box? Well, you see, the chickens could predict 12 years into the future. No further, though. And they chose to warn my uncle about something that would happen in the year 1999 or 2000, unclear which. And this part I'm actually not making up, by the way. This next part really did happen. Right before the time I was born, their apartment had caught on fire. The uncle I'm referring to, his name is Travis, born in 1980, and he was using his body to protect the fire from his then current wife and daughter, and he got burnt damn bad. It was bad. I mean, I wasn't there, but I know it was bad. That is a pretty brave feat, I gotta admit that. And thankfully he's still alive today. I mean, you just heard him tell the tale that I said in the beginning of this video. But I'm pretty sure he still has, like, scars from the event to this day. I mean, I don't think those ever go away, actually. I mean, I haven't asked to look at them. I don't even know where they are at. But it was a travesty. Get the pun? Get the pun? Eh? Enough, Kale. So basically, back to the fictional crap. The chickens had put a bunch of like fire extinguishers, fireproof suits, and other stuff that would help prevent the fire from getting worse, or at the very least, keep my uncle from getting those scars. And yeah, they put like a little like sticky note on there. They say, hey, if you don't take this box, some bad shit's gonna happen. But then some dumb-ass hobo idiot comes onto the elementary school property where he's not supposed to be to begin with and steals the box. So Travis didn't know until it was too late. Alright, that's just the first freaking ending. We still got 2 more to go, and that took brain power to come up with. 2 more of these damn things. The aliens come down and introduce themselves. Then they take Travis with them to go to Chickadonia. At Chickadonia, they too are having an eclipse of their own, and then the chickens go to some chicken children at a chicken school and force Trav to come out and state, I come from a planet Earth. One of the students bites my uncle and tells him, hey dude, someday you'll have a motherfucker named Kale for a nephew. He's gonna be a wild one. So take the DNA that I just bit into your arm and use it on a chicken from your planet. Which must have been done because one day I walked past a chicken on our property and it just like lunged at me. Like I didn't even do anything. I didn't touch it. I wasn't even that close to it. And it got pissed off. That chicken ass bitch better watch himself before I whack him with the shovel. But honestly though, I don't think my uncle has any connection with that. They're stupid ass chickens. I think a hen, maybe, or it could have been a rooster. Who gives a crap? Maybe he did spray that DNA onto one of his chickens for payback of something that I did a long time ago that I don't even remember. I mean, I did have a little bit of an outburst with him last summer, but we're already past that, so I don't know. Maybe this was something unrelated. Damn. Chickens come down from a UFO. They say, we are from the planet Chickadonia, and we are here to invade your school. Travis and his other classmates get scared and run off while a bunch more alien chickens come out of the UFO. They cause quite the ruckus inside the premises, and then their queen comes out and goes to the principal's office. She lays an egg in there, and then orders all the other chickens to go back to the UFO, which they do. The next day, the principal returns to the school before anyone else does, thinking all the feathers and egg yolks were some sort of prank done by the kids. He goes into his office and notices a giant egg, and he pokes it, like a stupid kid. But then the egg explodes and causes another big bang inside our own universe, except it was much quicker than the real Big Bang. Instead of it taking 14 billion years to grow the 94 billion light years, it takes about 14 minutes. Like a bubble forming inside of another bubble, if you've ever seen that before. I wish I have, but... There is now a new universe that has left our own, and the chickens claim it as theirs, and name it none other than Chickadonia. And over the past 35 years or however long it's been, the universe is abundant with chickens. Almost every planet in there has chickens living on them. Oh, and the Chickadonia from our universe is kind of just empty now. Nothing to come from that anymore. Alright. So, those were my 3 theories as to how the story ended. I bet if Trav were to be watching this, he'd probably get a kick out of this. But which one of these endings was your favorite? Like I said, a simple comment that states 1, 2, or 3. That's all you gotta put. Me personally, I don't know if I can really pick, because none of them surpass average for me. I've never talked about damn chickens so much before on my channel. And had it been ostriches, it would have been that much better. But it wasn't me who started this fable, it was my uncle, so I didn't make the call here. Wait a minute. Chickens. I think I have talked about them before. No, other than that, I could have sworn there was one episode, didn't it start Behemoth blog? Oh no.